Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships. I was asked if I would do a video covering the Dockyard, and I had been debating about whether or not to do it because we don't get these Dockyard events very often. And so, for the viewer and new subscriber who asked me, thanks for kind of promoting that and giving you a Thursday video today, not in the normal video schedule. But hey, any helpful information for you guys in how to tackle the newest Dockyard, I don't mind helping out at. So, when you first open the Dockyard, it's kind of this whole animation. They take you over the Dockyard, and then they give you basically the event rules to click through. So before we actually begin looking at the rewards and talking about the event rules, if you're newer to World of Warships, just let me give you a brief history, really short, on Dockyards in World of Warships. The first Dockyard that World of Warships did was back in the beginning of 2020, or maybe it was the very end of 2019. The Puerto Rico, also known as the Puerto Rico dumpster fire, because Wargaming completely botched that Dockyard event. It was a PR disaster for them. They learned a lot after that one. And so they're much better now. It was an unrealistic grind if you're trying to get the Puerto Rico for free. It was almost impossible. Not many players actually did all the grinding for free. Most just if they got it, they spent the doubloons. But now it's much more feasible to a certain extent. If you are a player who plays regularly, it should not be an issue for you to get the ship. If you play this only on the weekends, as an example, depending on how much time you're playing on the weekend, it might be a bit more difficult in obtaining the ship in the cheapest means possible. So, typically we have all these combat missions, the stages, these phases you progress through. I think this is the first one that they have had up to 32 phases. I think previously in the last Dockyard was at like 28 or 29 is for the Dutch cruiser that I have now. So I think this is the longest one they have, but I think part of that is because we're discussing a tier 9 battleship, and you get 3 ships through the Dockyard. You get the British tier 3 Dreadnought, and then you also get to the new British battleship they're introducing, the tier 6 Repulse. So there's a little bit more going on with this one, I would say, than previous ones, minus Puerto Rico. So let's go ahead and look at the event rules. So we'll go over that together, and then we'll look at the combat missions, and I'll give you my input, helpful advice there. So what is the Dockyard? The Dockyard event takes you through the phases of building a ship and rewards you with the tier 9 British battleship, the Marlborough, upon completing those phases. Shipbuilding phase completion. The shipbuilding process comprises of 32 phases. You can complete 27 shipbuilding phases by progressing through Dockyard combat missions. So when you open your combat missions, when you're in port, there's going to be, of all your list on the left, there's one of them that's going to say Dockyard. So 27 of these 32 phases you can complete yourself by completing the missions. There's going to be like ribbons, probably destroyed, spotted ribbons, spotting torpedoes, all those type of things. So you have to do 27 of those 32. That's the max amount you can complete through the Dockyard combat missions. And then doubloons can be used to instantly complete phases. So 5 of these phases, the 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 5 phases, you are going to have to spend doubloons out of your own pocket if you want to have the tier 9 Marlborough. You can obtain the tier 9 Marlborough only upon completing any 5 phases or more by spending doubloons. If you continue to complete phases by progressing through Dockyard combat missions after you have built Marlborough, you will receive 250 steel as reward for each additional completed phase. So, as an example, let's say you decided, when we look at these starter packs, they got 2 different starter packs, so let me hold my tongue there for a moment. Purchase starter packs at a discount to obtain rewards and complete the shipbuilding phases required to build Marlborough. You will not be able to purchase the starter packs after completing 3 shipbuilding phases by progressing through Dockyard combat missions. So basically, when you start the Dockyard combat missions, you only have until the first 3 phases to purchase the starter packs that are at a discount. One of the starter packs, which we're about to look at, is for 5 phases, and I think the other one's for 9, but we'll check that here in just a moment. Well-deserved rewards. You obtain a reward for each shipbuilding phase by progressing through the shipbuilding phases. You also obtain special rewards, Tier 3 Dreadnought at Phase 6 and Tier 6 Repulse at Phase 18. So, 2 quick things to note. What if you, as a player, already have the Tier 3 Dreadnought? Because this ship has existed in the game for quite some time. What if you already own this ship? What type of reward do you get instead of the ship? Well, typically, Wargaming in the past, they had given you the amount of doubloons for the ship as a reimbursement. So, buying this ship in Armory, or I think even in the premium shop, it's 2,800 doubloons. Or if you spend real life money, it's like $13 US. But now, this year, they're doing it a little different. If you already own the Tier 3 Dreadnought in your port, you'll receive 5,250 credits as compensation. So 5,250,000 credits as compensation. So not terrible, but I know a lot of players like to get the doubloons instead of credits, especially if you are just swimming in credits. Then at Phase 6, you get the Tier 6 Repulse as Phase 18. So this is a very British battleship dockyard event. Okay, so let's close this. If you want to read more details, it's on the website. You can click on this link here. There's not too much more there. Just they had the other things I was looking for is what did you get as compensation if you already own the Dreadnought. So the starter packs, you can see I have not begun. I haven't completed any phases yet. I only played a little bit last night after this update went live. But starter packs allow the completion of shipbuilding phases in exchange for doubloons, available only at the beginning of the shipbuilding process. So we click on this, details, and here we go. Okay, so 5 phases and 11 phases, okay? And then you have complete any number of phases afterwards. It's 1,500 doubloons per phase. So you need at least 5 phases. So if you buy this now, you're saving money. If the plan is you want the Tier 9 Marlborough, not to mention there's really good rewards when you get to the end progressing. So as you progress through the shipbuilding phases, basically you get better and better in-game rewards. Some players might disagree with me on this, but just the in-game rewards you get, minus the 3 ships you're getting, is actually really worth it for what you're doing. But I'll kind of tell you more of what is Wargaming's twist of what is significant for them when you are doing the Dockyard combat missions and other ways that they're making money off of us as players, so on and so forth. So you get these 5 phases. So if you wait till after you've done 3 phases and then you're like, oh shoot, I wish I would have bought the smooth sailing 5 shipbuilding phases. So you can see on the right, it's 1,500 doubloons per phase. So instead of spending 5,500 doubloons, you will spend 7,500 doubloons to be able to finish it. So if you are planning like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and then you're better off. You want to purchase this. You want to purchase the smooth sailing shipbuilding phases. So, and then you have the full ahead. So you have this little icon here, signaling here. What gives you 11 shipbuilding phases. So let's say you waited to do that after you already completed the first phases. It's going to cost you 16,500 doubloons versus the 9,900 doubloons now. So it's at a discount, it's at a credit, it's a starter pack. And so Wargaming's kind of putting it in your lap like, hey, if you want to do this, you got to decide up front, but you at least need this one minimal. So if you, as an example, there's 32 phases, and let's say you bought the full ahead. Okay, so 32 minus 11, say 21, and there's 27 dockyard missions, so 27 minus 21. So there's 6 phases, is the difference between here. And let's say you completed all 27 dockyard combat missions. Well, then that is when you'll get rewarded an additional compensation of 250 steel for each of those 6 phases. So, for example, 6 phases, that's going to give you 1,500 steel if you buy this package and you do all the 27 Dockyard combat missions. Now, if you can buy, I'm trying to remember if you can actually buy both. Like if you want to buy one and then buy the other. I would actually buy one right now. I'm at like 5,300 some doubloons, and I need less than 200 doubloons. Or just as an example, buy this for you right now. I might just hop into the armory or something real quick and buy some. I don't know. We'll see. To see if both are given to you as an option, because I'm spacing that right now, whether or not. You can see they have this one locked. So yeah, so let's just briefly look at the rewards. You just hover your mouse over and you can kind of see what's going on here. Santa's gift container, you know, premium, 1 day premium. Or there was somewhere in here, there's 1 day premium. Yeah, there it is. 2,000 coal. So then you get to the dreadnought. You get up here, they even have, there's a gift container. There should be a Santa's big gift container. So you have 3 types of Santa's containers. You have Santa's container, gift container, Santa's big gift container, and Santa's mega gift container. Basically, you'll get more rewards for those. So when we're looking at just the rewards minus the ships, it's actually really nice. It's, in my opinion, it's worth the doubloons in buying if you intend, even if the ship's not that big of a deal to you. But the last phases of the shipbuilding project. So you get some special signals here. It helps with grinding, 10 each. And then we hit another Santa's big gift container. And then we go all the way over. Let's see here. Leviathan, the Hydra. Oh yeah, so we were just looking at this one. And then 10,000 coal. And they're even giving you a little warning on the orange in the bottom. And here's the Santa's mega gift container, saying that you need to buy any complete 5 phases or more by spending doubloons. And then this, the 4,000 research bureau points. So this is actually really cool. Previously in the other dockyards they've had, when let's say you whaled and you bought a bunch of phases with doubloons, and then you finished those dockyard combat missions, you would get research bureau points as a reward for continuing to complete the dockyard combat missions for each phase. Now they're doing it as steel. They've done steel before. But they have 4,000 research bureau points. So that's actually really handy, really nice, because you can get really good ships and some rare in-game content with research points. I'm saving up for the Tier 10 Ohio battleship. It's like a Georgia, but on steroids with just an additional gun turret. And then 2,000 steel. And then you get the ship itself. So really good stuff. I think I've rambled on a bit too much now just on that. But let's go and look at the dockyard combat missions. So show you what that looks like. And maybe I can purchase some doubloons real quick and buy the first phase. And so we are all on the same page. So combat missions. So if you haven't opened up in port, it's going to say 1. But dockyard right here. So this section will be available for 61 days. So as I'm sitting here recording, I have 61 days for all of these till the end and to complete these. So you see you get the final reward once I've completed all 6 of these. I get a shipbuilding token, or shipbuilding phase is what they're calling it. And in this combat mission as a whole, we have 2 shipbuilding phases and then 3. So you get in total 3 from the first section of the dockyard combat mission. So you can say spotting torpedoes, earn commander experience. One I already completed was in 1 battle, get 3 destroyed ribbons. You know, that's really easily. But what you have to pay attention to is the completion criteria. So you see random battles, ranked, co-op, okay? And then we go down here, like this one, it's only random or ranked, no co-op. Not to mention that if you're a brand new player to World of Warships, you're probably not going to be able to possibly complete this dockyard unless you spend real life money in getting between tier 5 and tier 10 ships, like ships from the premium shop or the armory. So, and you can see here, I mean, we don't have tier 5 carrier, so tier 6 to tier 10 carrier. And they also even added the super ship here. So get 640 ribbons that can be destroyed, shell hits, captured ribbons, secondary hits. So then you can see completion criteria. Oh, now it's with a cruiser. Oh, now it's with a destroyer. Oh, now it's with tier 5 to tier 10, any ship, or a super ship. And then here you can see the completion criteria increases beyond just random, ranked, and co-op, but also we have clan battles, and we have scenarios, also known as operations. So you just have to pay attention to what the completion criteria is, because you could be like, hey, I'm going to go for this one, 975 ribbons, but then you're like, oh, it's for cruisers, and I've been doing this in destroyers for the last 2 battles. So you just got to pay attention. So as at certain points, as time goes on, then you'll go from the first battle, Sedgemoor, and then eventually this one's going to unlock. And it tells you this is going to be available in 4 days. So it kind of helps you having a time window. So it looks like they're giving you anywhere from, let's see, this is 4 days, 11 days, 6, 7 days. Yeah, pretty much looks like they're giving you about 7 days in between for each of the Dockyard combat mission phases. So as you go on, it tends to get a little bit more intense. So here, there's multiple shipbuilding phases, but now it's earned 121,000 experience. It doesn't say base XP. Like here you see base XP, so you can throw on special signals, economic signals, camouflages that help you earn the experience much quicker. But then here we have base XP. But we see that clan battles is not an option, but random, ranked, co-op, and scenarios is. So 45 captured or defended. And usually what they do, let's see, there's 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I only need to complete 6 of 9 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so there's only need to complete 6 of 9, so then you can choose which ones you want to work on. But noted, like, you're going to have to do these, like, earn 6 million credits, the base XP, to be able to get the shipbuilding phase token, because you need that, right? So some of them are not optional. Others are going to be optional. You can pick and choose, if you're more of a destroyer player, maybe you're hitting more destroyer cruiser ones. If you're more of a battleship player, maybe you're hitting more of the battleship ones, so on and so forth. Some of these, like in one battle, earn 1 Kraken Unleash achievement. So not the most common thing. And then even getting to the very end, 24 million HP of potential damage. So this one, co-op. So I know a lot of people who might just, you'll see a lot more people in co-op battles. So if you're in a co-op main, you're going to see probably a lot more human players in co-op battle throughout this Dockyard event, because it's much easier to try to farm potential damage in co-op. You just, a destroyer, you go in and you're just trying to draw all the attention on you, or you're, Georgia going in with your speed boost really fast or something. So some of these you're going to be seeing more, you're going to see more players in co-op. So let's go ahead and let's purchase that first phase. I just need a little bit more doubloons. So I need purchase doubloons. So I don't know if it's going to like show personal details or not. If it does, then I'm probably going to just like have something else laid over the screen while I'm doing this. Yeah, it's got my card on account. So yeah, so we're just getting 1,250 doubloons for $4.95. And it should hit the account. Let's exit out. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so let's hop back into the Dockyard. And we will buy the first starter pack. So almost done. We're almost done. Hang in there, guys and gals. So starter packs. So now I have enough doubloons. I'm going to purchase this. So when I purchase this first bundle, it gives me the list of what I'm going to earn. So yes. So, and now it's going to start. Art department carries so hardcore with the uh, dockyard phases, so it's really cool. Used to that you didn't start off on the blue board or designer sheet. I don't know what the technical name for this is. Usually they tell you preliminary design, contract design, detail design, laying the keel. So then it's going to take us out of this kind of office shop space into the dockyard. So now we're going out. And now we're going to start laying the keel of the Tier 9 Marlborough. British battleship. Now, from what I've seen on YouTube of those who've looked at the ship and the armor, the kind of the thing that Wargaming shows off with the ship, if they actually... A variant of the battleship that retained the design and features implemented in the Vanguard and King George V class ships. The ship's main armament comprises 16 356mm guns, mounted quadruple turrets, and it's got a large, oppressive health pool. Artillery is high. A defense is modest. Maneuverability. I mean, it's a battleship. Concealment. It's you're supposed to be able to get good concealment. So they kind of like the number of guns with a good rate of fire and good concealment is kind of the three things Wargaming showing off. But when they talk about the ship, they say relatively poor armor scheme or just relatively poor armor. The ship has really bad armor. Like, it's not relatively poor armor, it's bad armor. So there's some YouTube videos, if you kind of look, I think even Flamlu did a video and looking at the Marlborough on the public test server. So yeah, so it's not going to have good armor. So you're not going to be a brawling battleship. So yeah. Okay, so we've purchased this phase. So yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure. So you can buy both shipbuilding starter packs, right? A lot of players do this. You're probably, before I even post this video, you're probably already beginning to see Marlboroughs in random battles, co-op, so on and so forth. Because there are players that just have the doubloons on hand, or they have the money on hand to just go ahead and whale for the ship. And now they're going to earn 250 steel for each shipbuilding phase they complete by doing the Dockyard combat missions. So I talked about how the doubloons were, you know, it's pretty good for just the rewards you get minus the ships. So what is Wargaming's angle on that, if you will? Wargaming wants players to play their game daily. Like, that's just a given. I mean, you can see that even when you sign in. I need to sign into the game today so I can claim my daily reward just by logging into the game. It's a way for Wargaming to get you onto the game, playing every day, and then when you do the Dockyard combat missions, you're playing their game and even more. And who knows, maybe you're even likely to throw some money at the game while you're playing. You know, the more that you're in game, there could be more of the possibility that you might spend some actual money in the game itself. So the more time that you as a player are spending on the game, the more of a success it is in Wargaming's book. So that is why the Dockyard event it's a good event. I mean, they learn from their mistakes, but you know, the in-game rewards are really good minus the ships. But I mean, with the ships, it's even that much funner. So yeah. So the last thing I want to touch on really quick is what are my tips and advice for being able to complete the combat missions. So basically what I try to do is, if you can have some that synchronize, that actually is really helpful. So instead of just working on one, maybe you're also working on 2 or 3 at the same time. And that's likely to happen. So as an example, let's go through here and look. So I got 3 destroyed ribbons. I mean, basically that's going to happen no matter what other ship I'm playing. You can tend to earn ribbons pretty quick in co-op. Like, a lot of players will just hop in their cruiser, their battleship, their destroyer, and they'll just play that class ship until they get the ribbons they need. The thing is, like, for example, in co-op battles, you don't earn as much base experience. And matches and randoms battles are becoming To a certain extent, random battles don't last as long as they used to when I first started playing the game over 2 years ago. So you're not going to be earning as much base XP. If you are going to be doing like let's say get 715 ribbons, tier 5 to tier 10 destroyer, and then I'm like, oh, base XP. I earn more base XP in a co-op battle on destroyer if I play tier 10. So then I'll play a tier 10, tier 9 destroyer because you're going to earn more base XP. And that will help that more versus playing a tier 5 destroyer. As an example, you'll earn more commander XP in operations, random, ranked. So those are good places to earn commander XP. Spot 70 torpedoes. Usually that's like, oh, be a destroyer with your hydroacoustic search on and just like in co-op battles and just like full throttle to the other side. So I only played a couple battles last night. I played Marceau and I detected a whole bunch of torpedoes. It's a tier French destroyer that's super fast. So you're probably going to see a lot of fast destroyers in co-op that just kind of yellow to the other side. Help your team cause 22,000 HP of damage upon your spotting. You're not going to get much damage upon your spotting as a battleship player. You're going to get more spotting by being a destroyer player, by being a carrier player. You want to see the enemy team first before your other teammates are. Hopping to this one. Yeah, destroyed ribbons is pretty easy to get in co-op. Credits, you're going to earn more credits in ops, ranked or random battles. So maybe if you're working on, hey, I want to get through Bronze League or Silver League, Gold League, and ranked, then you're going to be like, all these actually include ranked. So I'm just going to just focus on my ranked, and I'll be getting these along the way. Granted, you just got to pay attention to, you know, oh, I got the cruiser one done, so let me switch to destroyer and ranked, so on and so forth. I'm just trying to see if there's any other helpful advice. When you get to the last ones, it's definitely much more time consuming to complete. So that is why I say if you are new to World of Warships and you don't have a lot of these tier 5 through tier 10 ships or different classes, the likelihood of you being able to complete the Dockyard is really low unless you whale and buy all those shipbuilding phases up for doubloons, as an example. I mean, you get good in-game rewards, but not that I would recommend it if you're a new player. Maybe you just catch the next Dockyard and you're able to complete a lot of those rewards and do it much for less money. You're not spending a lot of money out of your pocket, right? Damage to ships. You know, I see this one. This is an easy one I could do in co-op. Again, I'm going to take a fast destroyer, Russian destroyer, French destroyer. I'm going to take. I see my Marceau written all over this because you know get torpedoes and really good DPM, and I'm just going to yellow in and I'm just going to dump torpedoes into the sides of ships. Now, you're probably going to get hate from other players in co-op for hogging up the damage and just. I mean, I've done this in Marceau. I've wiped out an entire flank, killed all 3-4 enemy bots on the flank, and then players and cruisers or battleships behind me are salty with me. It doesn't happen all the time, but you can expect that if you do something like that. But hey, I'm playing the game. I'm having fun doing it. I'm grinding the objectives. So the co-op mains don't like when there's more random ranked players in theirs, and it's like kind of this hostility between co-op main players and random main players. But I do both relatively evenly, even if you looked at my stats. So I mean, again, like this one, how many phases do you have to complete? I don't have that information yet. But like the aircraft carrier ones, I'm not going to mess with those. I'm not an aircraft main player. I don't play aircraft or CVs that often. So I'll be leaving the CV ones alone, most likely, and focusing more on the battleship, cruiser, destroyer. So I have a plan of attack. Try to have it set up where maybe you're working on 2 or 3 or multiple at the same time. You know, maybe you get lucky in like in one battle, earn 2,400 base XP, right? Random or ranked, because you're not going to be able to do that in co-op, and they even took co-op out of that equation. So maybe you have a really good game, and then like you completed just one objective of maybe say 6 you had to complete, just because you do a really good game in a random or ranked match. So, okay, I think I'm going to wrap that up there. I think I've rambled on long enough. We're already hitting, looks like 30 minutes. So we're going to hold off there. But hopefully you'll find this helpful. If you have questions in the comments, let me know. If I said something wrong, let me know in the comments. Make sure we're not leading players astray here. And if you have advice to help players grind through the Dockyard events, tips and tricks, let us know in the comments. So if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you did not, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you haven't subscribed, thanks so much. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy this special edition Thursday video. So until next time, take care.